Are you ready for one of the greatest bull markets that we have had so far? If you are, stick around because we're about to break down some charts and really get a glimpse of the market. Now today we're just gonna go through some of these major altcoins. I know a lot of you have been trading these meme coins, right? And probably 99% of you have been losing money. But yo, these altcoins, we're just about to get going in the all season, and I don't want any of you to miss out, right? But with that said, let's jump into the charts. By the way, this is Simba, and welcome back to the Lions Den Crypto. If you do enjoy this content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. But anyways, let's jump in. Let's jump into these charts. Now, for me, this is kind of the first time I'm really going through these charts. Maybe it's good for you guys to kind of know the way I approach the market. The two indicators that I use, actually the one that I use the most is really the Fibonacci. I believe the Fibonacci is really all you really need to trade, right? It gives you that support and gives you that resistance, and it also gives you those profit levels, right? Those take profit levels. Also at the same time, also minimizing your risk. The secondary one I don't use so much, but I also use it as a form of confluence, is really the moving averages, and that's the 20, 50, and the 200. Now my approach is more starting from top to bottom, so I'd like to take a look at the weekly and then go from the daily and kind of go down from there. So more of a swing trader. I rarely do any day trading unless I see some really good opportunities. Anyways, I'm too busy. I can't spend all my time on the charts, even though I do enjoy it. It's almost like an art form, right? I just enjoy looking at the charts. Yes, I know I talk bad about you guys who were trading meme coins. Don't worry, I was in the trenches as well. So don't feel too bad about it. I'm just ragging on you guys. But anyways, with that said, let's jump into the Bitcoin chart, the Big Daddy BTC, right? Starting at the weekly. Now, the way I'll take a look at it is really start with the Fibonacci retracement, right? And as you can see, it really marks those support and resistance, right? So as you can see, there was a major price point over here around 69, 70,000, which we danced around for quite some time, right? For a couple of months till we finally broke out of it and really started to make some moves to the upside. Even though we have retraced a bit, right? Let me kind of go down to the daily. We did retrace for a little bit. I did think that we were going to retest that major support, right? It was that resistance turned support, but guess what? The moving averages really held right, that Bitcoin chart. Now look at this. A lot of the OGs, a lot of the people that trade, or you know, if you've been in this game for a while, you have technically been in the bull run since really 2023 of April or March, right? Kind of riding this wave to the upside, right? So there's a lot of people who've been in the bull market for almost a year and a half, and now they're just sitting pretty, right? But anyways, with that said, taking a look at BTC, I think we might actually, let me go down in the lower levels. We might go down a little bit, maybe retrace it, right? And look at this. You can also use the Fibonacci on the lower time frames, right? So as you can see right here, we're kind of sitting in that pretty zone, actually on another lower time frame, or the daily support here. Kind of go down to the 4 hours so you can see it. So it's really defending this. It's really defending this. Now we can possibly retrace down to the 50 Fibonacci level, which would be about 90,000. But you know, from there, I'm bullish. On the higher time frame, I'm definitely bullish. I think we're about to see some all-time highs very soon for Bitcoin. The Big Daddy Bitcoin. No Diddy. No Diddy. And with that, man, one of my other favorites tokens is really Dogecoin. Dogecoin is making this nice base, And you know what they say, the bigger the base, the bigger the pop. Right, now let's lay down that Fibonacci, right, really starting at some of the major swing highs and swing lows. And as you can see here as well, it's really tracking those major support and resistance. And right now we're actually sitting at a beautiful support zone, right? And let me just go down to the lower time frame, and it's really defending it. It's really defending that 16 cents. And I think once we do, I think we, very soon we might see it rebound here. If we rebound off of this, I think we're due for a major upside, right? I think we're due for a major upside, and that's what I'm predicting as well, right? I think we're about to see some major moves, especially as these moving averages on the daily, right, stay above it. Now, if we break down, I think that will be bad news bear, right? I think that will be bad news bear, but I don't really see that happening, right? I see the price of Doge really defending that 16 cents price and really moving up. As soon as Bitcoin starts to move up, right, and starts to make new all-time highs, as we know, Bitcoin always leads the crypto market, right? And once Bitcoin has done its thing, then we start to see altcoins really start to take off. But the other one as well, one of the favorites, right? I know a lot of guys who have been holding ETH for a long time, right? Have been waiting for it to do something, right? Especially as all these Solana bros, Solana took off, right? And Solana is a big competitor to Ethereum, and all the Solana bros are always ragging on Ethereum, right? Since their chart, yeah, they did just so much better than Ethereum. But I think a lot of good things are due for Ethereum now. Let's just kind of start over there, kind of add that Fibonacci, right? And kind of take a look at where we're sitting right now. So again, as you see, we're sitting on another major level, and this support, right, is about $1,800, right? So, looking at these charts, we're sitting at these major support levels, and if we do defend this, I think we're gonna see some major price, right, start to go up. So right now we're kind of in a critical area for these major alts. Same thing that you saw for Doge, right? We're at this major support zone. Of course, for BTC, we have, we didn't even retrace back here. This is why I'm much more bullish, right, on BTC. I think we're about to just explode, especially as we really uphold that 50 EMA. Now, the blue line is really that 20 moving average, and the green is the 50 moving average, and the red, as you see, is the 200 moving average. But for Bitcoin, is really upholding, and as you can see, it really defended that 50 moving average, which made me even more bullish, right? So here we are with Dogecoin. Hey, Doge, give me that. I love how they do that for TradingView. If you don't have the TradingView app and you are a trader or you want to trade, I don't know what you're doing, right? This is one of the best tools out there, and you can actually use it. The free version is just fine, right? You don't even need the paid version, right? But anyways, ETH, Doge, sitting at that nice support level, right? I'm really looking to see what's going to happen next. Are we going to break out and make those higher highs? And even for Ethereum specifically, they have some good news coming up in the next week or so. I believe the Petra upgrade is coming out for Ethereum, and this might really push the price to start making some higher highs. Speaking of ETH, let's go down to Solana. Right, Solana again. I just had this Fibonacci, but I kind of start over and give you guys these levels just to show you how I approach the market, right, with these fib levels. So there we go, right? There we go for Solana. As you can see, same thing as ETH, same thing as Doge, except Solana has been, has actually done a lot better, at least much higher from its support, right? So this is looking bullish as well for Solana on the higher time frame, right? Now we might see it retest that $1.26 before it makes some higher highs, but the way Solana is looking and how that ecosystem is really blowing up, especially these meme coins, and their developer count is also increasing, right? There's such low gas fees. It's really hard to beat Solana, right? That's why we need that Pectra upgrade for Ethereum, so we can actually start competing again, because right now between Ethereum and Solana, there's really no competition. I'll just be honest, there's really no competition. Something has to be done, but Solana is going to do phenomenal, and it's been performing really well, right? Just not too long, just before the end of 2023 or just the beginning of 2024, Solana really exploded, right? You see what happened? This FTX crash really drove the price all the way to $8, right? Now, if you bought the dip, right, or you were at least following the moving averages, you were able to get in at least at $22, right? And now Solana just exploded, and now it is currently sitting at $143. And I think we're going to, once Bitcoin takes off, I think we're going to start seeing Solana really take off along with it. Now, another token that I really like, alt, I think is going to do phenomenal. Now, this one is more built for enterprises, right? Which is Hedera Hashgraph. I think Hedera is going to do phenomenal, and it did an incredible rise just before the end of 2024, right? So again, we hit that Fibonacci, right? Go to the highest level that we had. Just drag this a little bit over here. Make sure we're touching that. Okay, there we go. Now this Fibonacci, it's not always perfect, right? It just gives you a picture, an image, right? So here, H bar literally before the end of the year of 2024, we were just sitting at 4 cents, and the price was almost like a straight line up from 4 cents all the way to pretty much 40 cents, right? A humongous rise. And this just tells me how quickly this price can really rise. Let me take a look at the market cap for H bar. Hedera Hashgraph. The market cap is $7 billion. $7 billion market cap. And I believe that Hedera can really get up to the likes of Ethereum, right? The likes of Solana. I don't know if you have ever played with Hedera Hashgraph, but they're one of the fastest blockchains, right? And they're really built for enterprises. They're not here for retail or whatnot. They're here for the likes of Google, IBM, and they do have a council, and their council has IBM, has Google, has ServiceNow, right? Because this is their target. This is their customer target. So once all those enterprises really start to build applications and start deploying them on Hedera Hashgraph, I think we can see some ridiculous things happen. And you've seen how quickly the price rose, right, compared to all the other alts. I think this is a good time to get in, right? This will be a good time to get in. Not financial advice. This is financial advice. No, just kidding. Not financial advice. I have to say that for my lawyers, right? But yeah, so we rebounded off of this 50% Fibonacci, and I think this is a good support level. I think we can really, start to see some good moves and start to head towards those all-time highs, right? Yeah, keep your eyes on Hedera Hashgraph. I think they're going to do phenomenal, of course. And XRP. Look, for me, I'm not the biggest fan of XRP, but the price rise, can't really be denied, right? Cannot really be denied. This guy's what? There's a lot of catalysts for XRP. if all the XRP bros, if what all the XRP bros really say is going to happen, this thing is going to explode. Let me look at the market cap for XRP. XRP, right? So $124 billion market cap, right? It's undeniable. They have a lot of money. The XRP Foundation has a lot of money, and they can use and deploy that money to build or acquire companies or even other blockchains, right? So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, one of my other favorite tokens, right, much newer than some of the older ones, is really Virtuals. Now, Virtuals, I believe, is going to be and is the leader in the AI agent, right? The agentic economy, really converging AI with crypto. And they have a really good platform. The founders are super chads, right? And this price has absolutely exploded, especially in the last couple of weeks, or 2 weeks ago, right? Really coming from 42 cents and now sitting at $1.63. And I don't think this rocket ship is really stopping anytime, right? And this was a really good buying point. As soon as we started to go above these moving averages, right, the price really started to take off. It really started to take off. I do predict that we might get a rebound or retracement back to this support level, right? That $1.04 before we really start to make higher highs. But the way these guys are building, we might not even see that retracement. we really might not. One of these days I'll do a deeper dive into the virtual ecosystem, because I think it's look, we're moving into the age of AI. And Virtuals is really leading and innovating in that aspect, and it's a platform to really keep your eye on. And they're not just on Base, right? They're also on Solana as well. Yeah, these guys are doing phenomenal. We'll do one more, and we'll save some of the rest for another day. But look, if you want me to take a look at any of your favorite ticker or one I didn't mention today, make sure to leave it in the comments below. And next time, I'll add it to the list to take a look at it and really start to do some charting around that. Now, one more that I think is going to do phenomenal work is really Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid started out ridiculously strong, right? Starting out from $10, and which felt like a blink of an eye, went all the way to $40, right? Insane. And that was just towards the end of 2024, almost the beginning of this year, right? So they did come back and kind of retrace, and this was a good buying point, right? Hyperliquid, think about it as a decentralized Binance or Coinbase, right? It's an exchange that's completely decentralized, and they have perpetuals, right? I think they offer all the way up to 20x leverage, and this is all on chain. I'm super extremely bullish right now. Imagine if, I think their competition is Binance, right? Coinbase, and all these major exchanges. Now, if we compare the market cap of Hyperliquid, their market cap is currently at 6 billion, right? 6 billion. And let's check out BNB. It's not even close. 87 billion to 6 billion. If Hyperliquid even gets close or even halfway to the price of BNB right now, that will be some massive gains, and I think they're on the road to make that happen. Now, right now, this is what I would consider a good trade, right? Sitting at that 50% Fibonacci level and really testing that level, right? Now let's dig a little bit lower into these levels. Erase some of these drawings that I previously had. 1 second, make sure this is visible in all time frames, because I kind of want to show you, right? Wait, I think there's another fib level in here that I'm not seeing. Yes, there is. Okay, look at this. Take a look at this, right? This is the Fibonacci levels at the daily. Now, if we break it down, because I want to show you that how powerful the Fibonacci is, right? It just marks those support and resistance so beautifully, right? And this is where we're sitting at right now. So it's testing that $19 support, right? It was a resistance. Now that resistance turned to support, and it's really testing it. And it's bullish as can be, right? I think this will be a trade that I would take. Now this offers you really good risk and reward, right? Because you can just put that stop loss right below this support level, right, and kind of go from there. And let me show you something. Now this is not this is not financial advice. And we can really start to yeah. So with that, you get this stop loss, right, and you can see that this Fibonacci's also offers some profit targets, right, starting from the 61, 78, that 100%, and that 100% will actually take you to the all-time high. This is why I like Fibonacci. It really gives you those strong levels, and with that, it also gives you some take profit levels. Also with this, you can also clearly have a good stop loss marker that you can add, right? So this all the way from all-time highs will really give you an 11x, right? Which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, with that said, guys, this was fun, right? And if you enjoyed me kind of going through these charts, please do leave me a like in the comments. I will try to come and do this a little bit more, but anyways, with that said, maybe I even break down a little bit more on the Fibonacci, because there's so much to it. This Fibonacci is in nature. The Fibonacci is in nature. It's used in the damn pyramids, my guy. In the damn pyramids, right? Let me fact check that. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see, and this is the way I trade, right? And yeah, with that said, guys, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, this is Simba, right? Thanks for tuning in, and stay blessed. We're headed into the greatest bull run that we have ever seen. Stay bullish, guys, and as I say, you have to be in the market. If you're not in the market, you're not gonna eat, right? You're not going to eat. And anybody that tells you all season is done for, my guy, we're just getting started. We are just getting started. With that,